Welcome to the Father's Heart.
What's up, family? Wanted to share a quick message that was on my heart. I'm hoping that it blesses some of you. And the story that I want to talk about briefly is found in Matthew chapter 8. And it's Jesus and the man with leprosy. And Jesus is just coming down off the mountain, delivering the Sermon on the Mount, Matthew 5-7. And it says there's large crowds following him, and immediately when he comes down from the mountain, a man with leprosy comes up to him and he says, I know that if you're willing, you can make me clean. And one thing that's interesting is that this man with leprosy had faith. He believed in Jesus because he's saying, hey, I know that you can make me clean. The question wasn't, can he do it? The question was he willing? And it's also interesting because I think this man with leprosy, if he knew how Jesus felt about him, he would have been with the disciples on the mountain. But instead he stayed down with the crowds because he had that question about, I know Jesus can do this. I've seen it do it with everyone else, but I'm not sure if he's willing to do it with me. And I wanted to point that out because I think there's a lot of us that are struggling with feeling like maybe we're too damaged. Like we love Jesus. We believe he loves us. We have faith. We know that he can heal. We've seen him bless others, and we're not even mad at that. It's just that we've been so abandoned, so abused, so lonely, so isolated, that we wonder, maybe I'm just too broken and too damaged to really be close enough to Jesus, or to be fully used, or to be fully transformed. Because in that day, anybody with leprosy, they were an outcast. It was a disgusting disease that people looked at and they looked down. I mean, it was the lowest of the low. And so you can tell that this man is filled with shame and filled with feelings of unworthiness and feelings of maybe I'm just too damaged for Jesus to touch me. And it's interesting how Jesus responds to the man, because he does a couple of things that he doesn't have to do. If you look just after the story of the man with leprosy, the centurion comes to Jesus and he has a servant that is sick, and he tells Jesus, hey, I know if you just say the word, you don't even have to come to my house. And so Jesus just says, be it done unto you as your faith. And he marvels at this man's faith. But he didn't even go and heal this person at the home. He just spoke the word. But this man with leprosy, he does a couple of interesting things. The first thing is Jesus acknowledges and says, I am willing. So he didn't have to do that, right? He could have just healed the man with leprosy. But what he does is he speaks to him. He speaks to that shame. He speaks to that damage. And in essence, Jesus is saying, I love the darkest, dirtiest part of you. I'm willing to go there. Where no one else has been willing to reach out to you, to cross cultural boundaries, to go, everybody else is going with society, but I love you. I am willing. And he speaks to that place. And I want you to hear Jesus speaking to whatever place that is. And I want you to feel a boldness and a freedom to come to him and to tell him, if you're willing, I don't know. I feel like I'm too damaged, and I want you to hear him speak over you. I am willing. And the second thing Jesus does that he didn't have to do is it says he reached out and he touched him. And I believe that Matthew is recording this for us to see that, one, Jesus affirms, I'm willing. And two, he demonstrates that by reaching out and touching the untouchable. The lepers were untouchable in that day. And he reaches out and he touches the untouchable. And it's a message for wherever you are, that place, again, that has you saying, I'm too damaged, that he's willing and his love wants to embrace you in that place to set you free, to transform your life in the areas where nobody else has been willing to go. He's willing to go there.